This is hockey, the way it should be. Welcome to the Rockin' Hockey Show.
Come on, come on, come on. Raise your stick. Woo. Yeah. All right, pump your fist. Woo. Yeah. All right.
Quite a game. Down 2-0 in a championship game. The Young Stars put the team on their shoulders and made it 2-1 with their first goal. And it was a beauty.
I wipe the sweat from my brow. My God, it's happening now. If I could just figure out, I got it. I know it takes some time.
It's the Rockin' Hockey Show! Hi, welcome to the Rockin' Hockey Show, and now your host, the man that's faster than the gym teacher's grandma, Dave Maxwell.
Hey, what's up all my fellow hockey and rock and roll fans? I'm Dave Maxwell and welcome to another episode of the Rockin' Hockey Show. First I want to say thanks to Cole Bardreau for coming on the last show and working on face-off. This show we're doubling down with not one great guest but two, Alex Palmerville and Nick Gullo. They were longtime lesson customers of mine. They played house, they played AA, they played AAA, they played juniors, they played college, and now they're playing pro hockey, and they're right here in the Rockin' Hockey Lair to share their stories with you. Say hi to the fellas.
What's up, guys?
Later, we're going to jump on the ice with the fellas and learn how to play defense on a one-on-one. Not only do we have a great on-ice skill development session today, but we have a brand new episode of the Hockey Days of Our Lives. We got highlight goals, we got the Rockin' Hockey Glossary, we got the Rockin' Hockey News, we got pies in the face, and like always, we have Lord Stanley's brother right here in the Rockin' Hockey Lair. Throughout the show today, we got several great drummers showing off their skills. I'm super excited to announce that a brand new song and music video by Lord Stanley's brother is coming really soon. So whether you're sitting on the end of the bench, sitting in the penalty box, or sitting in the stands, get nice and comfy because this is a show where the hockey rocks and the music kicks. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to tell all your friends about it. Take it away, Lord Stanley's brother. Welcome to the Rockin' Hockey Show. I'm Dave Maxwell, and with us today we have professional hockey players Nick Gullo and Alex Palmerville. How are you guys?
How we doing?
Good.
How
How
you
doing?
Coming to the show.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
How do you like the Rockin' Hockey Lair?
This thing's pretty nasty. This is fun. There's a lot of good stuff in
It
here.
brings back some memories. Wow.
Oh boy.
Well, listen, I've known you guys for forever, since you were kids taking lessons, and now you're living a dream playing professional hockey. How fun is that?
I mean, I'm playing the sport I grew up loving, and it's kind of my job right now, so it couldn't be anything better, honestly.
Nothing better than getting paid to do what you love. I can't imagine sitting behind a desk. I'd just it would bore me to death.
Hey, I played 2 years myself. It was a blast. playing at that level, but also just hanging out with the guys.
Yeah.
And you guys are having some fun with it?
Absolutely.
absolutely, yeah.
Obviously, like the on ice portion is what we're there for, right? Like playing hockey, that's our job. But some of the memories you make on the bus and the locker room, the dinners and stuff, it's kind of the whole package.
Yeah. Now talk about the level. How is the level of playing playing pro? Is it what you expected? Is it more than you expected? As far as skill, speed, toughness.
Obviously, it's a step up from college. I think no matter where you go, whether it's Division III, Division I, and then as you step up in the layers of pro, the mistakes, there's less mistakes. Guys are zipping the puck around, and all the little details are just there's really no little mishaps in the game. Everything's kind of nitpicky, and everyone has their job and they stick to it.
People they think faster a lot.
Yeah.
You know, the gaps, they all close a little quicker. You got to be ready to make your decision and make a move on what you're going to do just that much faster, that split second.
Yeah.
As cliche as it sounds, like you got to think like 2 steps ahead.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're not going to last very long.
Yep. And I remember when I was playing coming up as a first year pro. I was playing against guys that were on their way back down now, and guys that might have played in the NHL or American League, and now they're down playing in the East Coast League, and they might have 15 years of pro under their belt. You're like, man, this guy is really good.
Yeah.
What's he doing playing in the same league as me? You know what I mean?
Sure.
It was definitely an eye-opening experience, but it was also fun, and you have to raise your level of play playing against guys like that may have 15 years of pro hockey under their belt, coming down now playing with you. So. Now, both you guys played college hockey. Al, you played at Worcester, and Nick, you played at Brockport and then went to Kings.
Yep.
How was that experience?
Obviously, it was a little eye-opening coming in, right? You hear a lot of stories. You play with guys in the summer, and they talk about their experiences, but you don't really know until you actually get there, and then you got to, figure out how am I going to maintain the athletic portion or the academic portion or the social portion. So it's kind of balancing act of when should I do this and when shouldn't I do this? When should I kind of put the green light on? When should I tone it back? And I loved all 4 years of my experience in college, whether 2 at the Brockport or 2 with Kings. I enjoyed my 4 years, and I would love to do it again if I could have. A lot of fun there.
Play college hockey, really?
Yeah, it was a blast. Just playing in front of the students and just kind of wearing that school logo on your shirt is kind of prideful to take. And even though sometimes we weren't the best team, it was still, every time you put on that jersey, you're playing for your school and playing for yourself and your teammates. So, yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, it was probably the best 4 years of hockey I could imagine. I mean, it was a lot of fun just growing throughout it, and your time in college really helps you become an adult with time management and figuring out what you want to do afterwards. You really got to start thinking about what's next for me. Am I moving on to a job? Am I going to continue my hockey career? You got to start focusing your studies, and you're really on your own. You're living on your own. That's a lot of times the first time someone's making their own meals or going grocery shopping, doing their own laundry. Like a lot of guys, it's an eye-opening experience, and you really mature a lot in college. And it's a good time, but yeah, you learn a lot.
You can only eat so many ramen noodles before you learn how to cook.
I had a little one of those plug-in pots in my room, with a whole bag full. My mom, every time I come home, she'd send me back with a box of ramen noodles, and I'd cook those babies. Both you guys played juniors. Let's just touch briefly on your junior experience. Good, bad. How was it development?
Take it away here. You played in every junior league.
So yeah, I did 5 years of juniors, which was a lot. I started my sophomore year playing junior Bs in Syracuse. Took a year off to go back to U16s, and then went back to play juniors in Albany for the CD Selects, and then eventually onto the Western States with Salt Lake City. Juniors was a very big growing experience for me. My first game of juniors in junior B, I was 15, and obviously still wearing a cage at the time, and I got jumped by a 20-year-old at a summer showcase game, and that was my eye-opening experience. I was welcome to juniors. Like, especially with the younger kids, some of the more talented kids trying to come up, get ready for the college game, and you're playing with grown men at that time. You're playing with guys 3-4 years older than you, and you really got to be ready for it. And then as I kept going, I kind of moved my way through the ranks. I started my last 2 years, I was captain of the team. I was first D pair the whole time, and it's kind of cool the way you grow, and you grow as a person and a player. You know, you build more confidence. The way you play changes a little, and then you kind of see how you're gonna go into college with that.
Well, just real quick on that, that's why, players in hockey play junior hockey until they're 20 years old, is for that whole development process that you just explained. But also, in the last 10 years or so, U16 and U18 have become more prominent. USA Hockey they don't want guys going into junior hockey at 15 years old, or even 16 years old for that matter.
Yeah.
That's why, U18 is such a strong level right now, so that kids don't have to play against guys that are 4 years older than them.
Yeah.
And get knocked down, whether it's mentally or physically, with their confidence level. So, it's changed a little bit, but I think it's for the better, because you're playing against kids that are more more in your age bracket and skill bracket. But you do see some kids that make the jump early, and the development is different for every one of them. But
yeah, absolutely.
Nick, what about your experience?
So I did 3 years of gym, well, 2.5 really, because I had an injury. But I started with Buffalo Junior Sabres in the OJHL. Mike Peckel was my coach there, so that was pretty cool, because he was one of my favorite players growing up. So that was kind of different to see him from a player than to a coach. And then I ended up playing with the New Jersey Titans in the Atlantic Junior Hockey League, which then turned into the EHL, the Eastern Hockey League. And then I finished and brought it all back to Syracuse in the USPHL, and had a really good last year of juniors there. To kind of touch on what you guys were saying with that age variance, right? If you're 15 playing against 21-year-olds, there's a lot of maturity that you don't have yet, whether it's mentally or physically. And I'm thinking to myself too, I wouldn't have been ready to step into college at 18. I needed those 3 years to kind of figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and kind of what we spoke on earlier, like mature. I knew how to do laundry. I knew how to cook some food, right? Clean. Like at 18, like
part of the prerequisite of being a junior hockey player, you got to do laundry.
Right, some of that stuff. So I knew how to do that growing up, but I would have been kind of shell-shocked if I stepped into college right away at 18. So I kind of took that 3 years to grow and stuff, and had some fun times along the way too. So it was awesome.
So now going back to all the way down to youth hockey, you guys had, I wouldn't call it an atypical youth hockey experience, but definitely you each had your own journey, so to speak, and it's a little bit, when I say atypical or different, meaning it's not textbook, like you play AAA, you play juniors, you play college. It doesn't work like that. And for most players that end up playing at high levels, it's up and down, it's all around. There's a lot of curves and different paths, and you guys certainly had that. You both played some house, you played a lot of AA, you sprinkled in some AAA in there throughout it for your development. You both played out of town when you were younger. Tell me a little bit, Al, why don't you go first? Tell me a little bit about your youth hockey experiences.
My whole thing got started because my dad was huge into hockey. Grew up in Messina, obviously right on the border, big hockey town, and so he got me going young. He was actually my coach for the first couple of years. Nick and I were rivals. I was played
against
for
each other.
the Parrington Youth Blade Sabres.
I was on the Canadians.
The
Big
Canadians,
rivalry there.
Big Might A rivalry.
Scored my first goal against you guys.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, that's all right.
Still remember it?
Still remember it. I sailed it from the blue line just over the goalie.
And then,
Beauty.
for years I played AA until Pee Wee Major, I think. I finally switched over to AAA. And I was bouncing around from organization to organization, just depending on where my friends were. And a lot of the time, I didn't want to jump to AAA at that time because I was just young, being a kid.
Right.
I mean, I didn't want that full commitment because I was still playing soccer, I was playing lacrosse, I was, trying to have fun, just be with friends and get a little taste of everything. And then once I realized that hockey was where I wanted to focus, I kind of put more into it and decided, time to buckle down, go to AAA and focus on where I'm going with it. And
now that's very interesting because we've talked a lot on the Rock and Hockey Show about doing other things, playing other sports. There are other things in life other than hockey, and not putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak, when you're young, and pigeonhole yourself into AAA left wing for the next 12 years, and I'm going to go right to the NHL. I'm going to skip college, you know what I mean? So it's great to hear, somebody like yourself that played college, now playing pro, saying, you know what, I played other sports. I wasn't I didn't feel like I needed to play triple A hockey
Yeah.
until I was mature enough myself to make that decision. It wasn't your dad making that decision for you. It was you saying, I think I'm ready, to maybe cut out a couple other things and take maybe a little more narrow focus.
All right, so long story here. So I started hockey. I started skating when I was 18 months old, and my uncles got me into it, who happened to play men's league with his father.
Oh yeah.
So the Gullo-Palmerville clan has known each other for quite some time. And I started just kind of like the basic initiation program at Parrington, and I did house for a year, and I went up to AAA when I was in Mites and kind of rode that through, but it was not a steady path at all, right? I played in Rochester, I went to Syracuse for 3 years, Buffalo for a couple of years. And it just kind of shows, right? Like, yeah, I did the whole AAA route, and Alex over here, he kind of bounced around between AA and AAA, and we ended up in the same spot now, right?
Yeah.
So everyone kind of develops at a different time. They grow at a different time, and it's the right situation for the right person, right?
Yeah.
So for me, that was a good situation for myself. It may not have been for him, and vice versa. So that's what individuality is about, right? So everyone's a little different with that stuff. So.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break from the interview to check out this highlight goal by Michaela Murjivka. Hey, thanks for sending in your highlight goals. Now back to the interview. Both of you, since I've known you, since you're little guys, taking lessons, taking lessons with me, you've both been very committed to hockey. Let's talk a little bit about what you did as a youth player because of your passion for the game, the lessons, the hard work. I want you to talk a little bit about that stuff and I know your dad very well. I played a lot of hockey with your dad.
Norman.
Great guy.
Goodness.
And he does stuff very old school,
Yeah.
but he has a lot of respect for the game. And I know he instilled that in you as a young player. And even talking to him while you're playing pro, very proud of you and how you're playing the game the right way. But talk a little bit about your development and how much skill development played into it, your support system from your family, and some of the things you guys may or may not have done, whether it was strength training or something like that you did as a youth player that kind of showed your commitment level.
Well, starting from a very early age, my dad preached start with skating, and so even back with you when I was taking lessons, and
Lots of skating.
I was traveling up to Huron for their power skating camp. All we would focus on is stride, edge work, a lot of that. And even until I was probably 12 or 13, I never used a composite stick.
Right.
I would never. He said, you're too young. You really don't know your strength yet. You don't know how to use the whip. You don't need that. You're just using a wood stick. Learn how to place a shot first. Once you start maturing physically, your body will grow, your muscles will grow. You learn how to throw that weight around a little, but.
So real quick before you go off on, so when you showed up to your pro team with your wood sticks, did everybody laugh at you?
No, absolutely. Nobody messes with a guy with a wood
You
stick.
just hack him in the back of the leg and be like, this guy's a psycho.
See, you have the one good stick, the composite one, and then you have the wood stick on the bench.
One's for the
Probably
power
when
play. One's
someone
for...
gets you a little whack, you go out there and you just two-hand him with a piece of lumber.
They see him
and
before the game just chewing on his blade. They're like, this guy's out of control.
All right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go
No,
ahead.
that's all right. But yeah, way back I was doing power skating and Edgewood forever, skating with cups of water in my hands. We'd have to hold them out like this, and then you get to the other end, and you can tell if you're bobbing up and down, your arms are everywhere. You got no water left in your cups. And
I've never heard that one
it was
before.
the easiest way to figure it out. And you learn how to settle your upper body and.
Yeah. Nick, what about your experiences growing up with skill development and anything else that just, like I said, you guys were very committed players from a young age?
I know I was doing lessons with you, and like he was saying, he would do things like holding the cup in the water. I know I would have the parachute on my back with the resistance. I'd be pushing nets up and down the ice. Now, my family didn't really know as much about hockey as his dad, but I remember I painted my whole driveway in like a hockey rink. I had the red line, the blue crease, the blue lines, all that stuff.
Still there?
Yeah, it's still there to this day. Driveway's not doing the best, but and like I would go out, and I was fortunate enough that they, even though they didn't know about stuff with me, they'd pass with me, and I'd set up cones, and I'd do a lot of off-ice stuff as well as my on-ice stuff. I remember it was come home from practice, what are you going to do? I'm going to eat dinner, and then I'm going to go play in the driveway outside until it was dark. And I remember
And you guys did all this stuff because you wanted to.
Yeah,
I loved
absolutely. I mean, growing up,
loved it.
we were out. We were obviously fortunate enough to be in the Northeast, where we have some pretty cold winters.
Yeah.
And I would be out on the ice, out on a pond across the street. We built a net out of chicken wire and 2x4s, and it's still in the pond. It actually melted and fell in the water.
You gotta get
Down at
that
the
out.
bottom of the
Yeah,
pond.
it's at the
Get the
bottom of the
scuba
pond.
gear on.
Well,
Let's go.
But starting when I was probably 3 years old, my dad, my sister, and I would be out there until it was dark. Walk back, warm your hands next to the fire, and then go back up and have dinner, and go out the next day and do it again. That's just, and no one ever asked me. My dad would never say, "Hey, you want to go out in the pond?" I'd just be like, "Yeah, I'm going out. I'm gonna go shoot some pucks. I'm gonna go do whatever, just skate around and have some fun."
And you guys feel like all that stuff you did contributed to where you guys are today?
I think it set the foundation for a work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, again, it's going to sound cliche. It's not about what you do in that 1 hour of ice with your coaches and your teammates. It's the other 23 hours. What are you doing then? So at a young age, we learned to do those things off the ice because they were fun for us. We wanted to do it. We knew it was helping us. Like, we legitimately enjoyed every second we were out there. And I think even to this day, like, growing up from, adolescent to teenager to young adult to now full adult, like, we'll just go on the ice just because.
Yeah.
We want to have fun, just to mess around and do some stuff. And I think it started with that foundation as a young kid. So I think that definitely contributed to, getting to where we are. And
Check out this highlight goal by Miles Maximieux.
Oh my god, what a move. I gotta record this. Oh my god, go! Go! Oh my god!
Hey, thanks for sending in your highlight goals. Now back to the interview. So if you guys had to name one skill, an important thing for a young player to work on, what would it be?
skating, hands down, without a question.
I would say being able to play with your head up. It's almost a lost art a lot of times with the skill that's coming about in today's game. Everyone's so puck focused. They can get almost too puck focused and trying to make that extra move, doing a little too much, getting too fancy. Playing with your head up and just being able to find your teammates, or if you're on defense, being able to find the other team coming at you. You can be so much farther ahead of the game. You don't have to do all that extra stick handling and all that extra work if you can just think it. Play smarter, not harder, almost.
Awesome. Great advice. Nick, funniest moment in hockey?
All right. Try and keep this. We'll keep this one PG for now. Actually, it involves him, and we were skating. It was our summer skate with all the other kind of pro and college guys around Rochester, and he's getting dressed in the locker room, and me and our other friend are looking at him. We're like, all right, he's got his skate guards on. Like, does he know this? And he starts getting his helmet on. He's taping his stick, wiping down his visor, and skate guards are still on.
Oh, boy.
And we're sitting there, and I have my jersey up like this because I can't show them. I'm smiling already. And this is at Thomas Creek, and we walk out in the West Rink through those back tunnels.
Oh, please tell me you had your phone
And
with you.
no, didn't have my phone with me. And then he goes to get on the ice and stops for a second. He goes, "Oh, gotta put my bottle down." We're like, "Oh, he knows. He's gotta know."
Oh.
No.
Doesn't know. Takes a hard step on the ice and literally just starfish in front of all the other college and pro guys. He's just literally a patty on the ice.
That was one of those moments where time stood still for a second. You just see yourself stepping onto the ice, and I look down and see it, and I go, "Oh no!"
His legs were above his head on the way down.
Oh gosh!
And me and our buddy are howling, just sitting there.
The important thing is, how did you recover from that, Al?
I think he got off the ice. He got undressed and went
I'll
home.
tell you what, I never came back. That was a bad skate. My head was just not there that day. Wow.
That was
That was not a
incredible.
good day for me.
That was last summer.
That was last summer.
Last
I
summer,
know.
a pro hockey player.
Pro
I
hockey
love it.
player stepped
I
on
love
the skate
that.
guards on. It happens.
It happens to everybody. Kelly, it happened
Kelly,
to you the
yeah.
other day, right?
One day.
Yeah, there you go.
that I got called up this year. I was lucky enough, and my first game, I was kind of nervous, and I always found that I like to play kind of loose and just have fun with it. I play better that way. In my first game, I was walking out, sold out crowd, almost 10,000 people. They played our intro video and they call us out. And I just looked down and I go, oh, I took my skate cards off. It's going to be a good day. And our whole team looked at me and they're like, wow, this kid's an idiot. This can't be good.
Let alone he's chewing on his wooden stick.
Yeah, you know that, right? Oh, that's awesome. Well, listen, hey guys, thank you so much for coming on the Rockin' Hockey Show. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys on the ice a little bit later.
Can't wait.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's the Rockin' Hockey Show.
Hey, I want to say hi to all my friends at Piranha's Hockey World, and today's skill development session is with Alex Palmerville, working on one-on-ones as a defenseman. Hey, thanks for watching the Rockin' Hockey Show. Today, we have professional hockey players.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 94, go!
What's up, Dave? All right, man.
Good, man.
Thanks for having us.
Number 11, Alex Palmerville.
How about that for an announcement? Starting lineup. Hey, listen, I used to give these guys lessons when they were little guys. Now, they're going to help me give a lesson to you on the Rockin' Hockey Show. Since Alex is a defenseman, today we're going to work on one-on-ones in open ice. So make sure your skates are tight, buckle up those chin straps, because this is Rockin' Hockey Show.
As a defenseman, you want to use cues on the ice to help you and control your gap. At the offensive blue, you want to prevent them from coming out of their zone with possession. At your blue, you want to be able to step up to keep them from coming into the zone with possession, maybe force a dump. And top of the circles is another big cue. A lot of skill guys, as they get higher in levels, they can score anywhere inside the top of the circle. You want to be able to stop them before they get to that level. One more cue you can use on the ice is the red line. You want to be able to stop them by the red line, make them or force them to dump it in. As a defenseman on a one-on-one, I like to keep my stick in front of me, keep it tucked in, maybe draw the forward in, being able to poke straight out and straight back. For body, you want to have a good knee bend. You want to be centered on your skates. That way you can move both ways, whichever way the forward goes, you can stay with them. Another thing is you want to make sure that you're looking right at their chest. Don't look at the puck, you'll get mesmerized and they can beat you easily. As we get into some more one-on-ones here, you want to make sure that you keep a tight gap or the distance between myself and Nick, the forward.
In this clip, Alex will pivot to the inside of the ice, taking the inside lane, forcing the puck carrier to the outside lane or towards the board. In this clip, Alex will start in the inside lane, and while matching the speed of the skater, slowly start angling him towards the boards, taking away his skate. Notice how quickly his stick interferes. In this clip, Alex will keep his body and his stick in a position, not allowing the puck carrier to cut back to the middle. In this clip, Alex uses strong skating skills to make sure his gap is only a stick's length away. Again, notice how quickly his stick interferes with the puck carrier. Watch Alex use his stick and his body to cut out the skating lane of the puck carrier. Here the puck carrier outskates Alex's stick, so he uses his body to pinch him off along the boards. Here the puck carrier has good speed, so Alex pivots with him, going stick on stick and takes away his lane. Notice at the end of every play, Alex stays with his man. He separates him from the puck and eliminates him from the play.
And if you play your one-on-ones right, this is what happens when people try to cut to the middle.
Maxfield here for the Rockin' Hockey Show, and today we have pro hockey players Nick and Al.
What's up, dude?
Good show out there.
Took only 2 points tonight. Pretty fired up.
Alright.
Want some water?
Oh, okay.
So you guys are pro hockey players?
Some may say
sir.
that. Still trying to figure out how that happened.
Have you guys played for a lot of teams?
More than we should have. We like to call ourselves the traveling hockey players.
I actually had to get a second passport because mine filled up with stamps. Too many.
Believe it or not, Miles, I sold my house and I just live out of a suitcase now, so that was pretty good. You want water?
You want one?
Sure.
Call yourself a suitcase. You may just call yourself a suitcase.
Yeah, basically, people usually call me that among some other things.
You've gotten into lots of fights, or in your league, are there any fights?
There's fighting in our league, and usually I'll like to stir the pot quite a bit, and then I turtle, and he has to come in and kind of take care of it for me.
He is a very instigating type of player.
I have that kind of
but,
face you just want to punch.
So,
Yeah.
you guys have gotten into fights then?
I have before, yes.
I make him get into fights.
Yeah.
What's the coolest thing about being a pro hockey player?
I think the coolest thing is coming out, the lights off, spotlight at the tunnel, and they call your name.
Number 11, Alex
You get to come out and there's 1,000 people yelling and cheering for you. It is quite, gets the blood going.
Yes.
Hockey's a cool sport.
Absolutely.
I would say it's the best sport.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go on a limb there.
Do you guys like cookies?
Cookies?
Yeah.
Any kind.
When we were living together, this kid would make a batch of 24 cookies, and we just sit there and punish the plate while watching movies.
They call me Betty
Yeah.
Crocker.
You guys like wrestling?
Believe it or not, I did have an offer to be in the WWE. Turned it down. But yeah, I'm a big wrestling fan.
You guys have like a favorite?
Randy Orton.
Oh,
Randy
the old
Orton.
RKO?
Yes,
I'll tell you what,
without a doubt.
big Triple H guy.
Really?
I was a Triple H guy growing up.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
He's way too cool for you.
Time.
Randy Orton's right here.
Oh,
Oh, there he is!
you actually look a lot like him.
Do I?
Yeah.
I say we have the same abs, I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
a lot of people say that. Yeah.
Being a youth hockey parent is like putting a bunch of jocks in a dryer and watch them aimlessly go in circles and bounce off the walls. These are the hockey days of our lives.
Come on, ref, are you kidding? That wasn't me. Stupid call. Stupid call. What's up, Gulls? Hey, man, what's going on?
Not too much. The boys are on the back check, so I thought I'd just come in here and say hello.
You didn't get a penalty?
No, just hanging out for a little bit while they're in the D zone.
Oh, it's good to see you, man.
Good
How
to
are
see
you?
too. Pretty well.
Oh, not too. I got a penalty. I think coach is kind of mad. I'm not sure. Though.
Yeah, he's pissed.
I hope not. Maybe he is.
He's pretty
know.
pissed.
Boys, how we doing?
What's up, buddy? What's going on?
Are you kidding me?
What's up?
Coach is livid right now. You gotta stop taking
I told
penalties,
ya.
bud. Holy.
Yeah, but you just got a penalty. He's
No,
really mad at you
no,
too.
no, I'm up for the Lady Bing. I just came in here to tell you that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
Oh boy, we're in
Oh,
trouble.
this ain't good.
I don't know. Can we
Door! Come on, you can jump. Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, man, how are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Who are you? Are you on the team?
No, I just saw you guys hanging out in here. I'm just a big fan.
Did you get a penalty then?
No, just hanging out.
So I'm the only one that got a penalty in here, eh?
Yeah, that's it. Well, boys, they're coming out of the D zone. I'm gonna try to jump in.
hey.
Odd man rush.
Where are you going, dude?
Odd man rush. I gotta go.
All right. Well, hey,
I left the bench short-handed, Gulsy. I gotta get out there.
guys. Hey, man, I guess it's just you and me now, right?
Yeah, security is taking me out. See you, bud. Oh.
Well, at least I'm almost out of here. Oh, here we go. I'm back on. What are you looking at, big guy? You think that's funny? I'm tired, man. Woo, I need a drink here. A lot of hard work today. Oh. Oh, that was nice. That's not what I was looking for at all. Not one bit. Woo.